chair for introduction. I'd like to introduce our work, Balanced Online Class-Incremental Learning via Dual Classifier. I'm the author Shunjie Wen, and thanks to our co-author Thomas Henius and my supervisor Dongwan Choi. I will introduce our work in following 4 parts. Firstly, I will tell what's the Online Class-Incremental Learning, or OCIL. As shown in the figure below, each task contains disjoint classes. For example, the task 1 contains the class cat and dog. The task 2 comprises the plane and ships. In the format of the data stream, each data can be viewed only once. And we all allocate a limited memory buffer to store and retrieve a small set of the learned samples. Because of the accessibility, the online class-incremental learning suffers from the severe catastrophic forgetting, which results in the history information to be overwritten by the knowledge of the new data before it is fully consolidated. And the goal of this problem is achieve a good plasticity while keep a good stability. Next, I will tell some existing efforts and motivations to alleviate the CF issue in online class-incremental learning context. A milestone named Experience Replay, or ER, is proposed. It learns from the mix of the mini batch of the incoming stream samples and buffer samples, but it suffers from the task recency bias due to the class imbalance. To elevate the task recency bias, the separated softmax method is proposed. It differentiates the new classes and old classes with separated laws within a single classifier. As we can see in the right figure, when we learn the class deer, it will not generate the gradient to influence the old class course, and vice versa. But it has a drawback that it will hinder the model from the learning relationships between the old and the new classes. To this end, we propose our framework Bison. We suggest dual classifiers responsible for learning and preserving knowledge respectively. And the goal is consistent with the main problem. We want to get a bad balance. Next, let's look at an overview of our Bison framework. I will introduce through the data flow one by one. Firstly, the stream and the buffer batch are learned by the shared backbone. Then we get the stream and buffer feature. Then they will be inputted into the dual classifier to calculate the loss BC. At the same time, we introduce the implicit knowledge interaction mechanism to get a better balance between the stability and the plasticity. Overall, the final training objective contains 3 parts. The beta and the lambda here are the hyperparameter to control the strength of each component. Finally, at the inference stage, we introduce the commonly used NCM classifier to fully exploit the potential of our well-trained shared extractor. Next, I will detail each component. First, dual classifiers. We suggest the separated classifier. The first one is a stream classifier. We call the double stream. It is dedicated to acquiring knowledge from new classes. Another one is the buffer classifier. It is fully responsible for preserving the knowledge from the learned samples. But completely separating 2 classifiers is also not suitable. So we provide an adaptive, smooth version of this loss function, and it is based on the cosine normalization, cross entropy loss, and the alpha is a learnable parameters. Next, I will introduce the second module, implicit knowledge interaction. Firstly, for the buffer to stream, we introduce the proxy anchor loss, and we replace the original learnable proxies with our weights in the stream classifier. Specifically, we utilize the labels of the buffer batch to select the target proxy from the stream classifier and make them interact with the buffer features, Zn. Next, we introduce the proxy alignment feedback. It is the flow is from the stream to buffer. We frozen the weights of the stream classifier. We filter the proxy using the label of the previous buffer batch and align our proxy in the buffer classifier with ones in the stream classifier. Next, I'd like to present the experimental results. We conduct extensive experiments on the widely used benchmarks, split 700, split 710, and split mini ImageNet. In split 710, it contains 5 tasks. Each task contains 2 classes. In addition, the split 700 and split ImageNet, they contain the 10 tasks, and each task contains 10 classes. The shared backbone here, we use the reduced resonance 18 with the 20 filters as our backbone. As you can see, our Python consistently achieved the best performance across all benchmarks and buffer size. Also, the performance gap widens as the buffer size increases. As you can see in the red figures, it shows the interplay figure between the stability and the plasticity. Our Python is closer to the left bottom corner, and it shows the best balance learner. For the ablation study, we evaluate each component, the effectiveness of each component, and as you can see, removing the dual classifier leads to reduce the accuracy and the plasticity. And compared to the proxy alignment feedback, the proxy anchor loss shows a more significant increase in plasticity. The proxy anchor loss and the proxy alignment feedback work together to reduce the forgetting. Compare the baseline. We use the vanilla experiment replay with the NCM classifier. Our method outperforms by a large margin in all metrics. Next, we show the analysis of the reducing recency bias and preserving the structure. In this confusion matrix, each off-diagonal white outline represents the top 1 misprediction for each class. First, we define the semantic similar class cat and dog, deer and horse, automobile and truck, plane and sheep, bird and frog. And we train those 5 tasks in the following training order. The newest classes is the sheep and frog. As you can see, here is the the classes in the arrow pointers and the frog and sheep. For the ER and SSIL, the most white outlines located in those two classes. Also, in the diagonal, it means that the arrows remain within the semantic labels. For example, the cat and dog, and the automobile and truck, deer and horse. The white outlines located in the diagonal more. Finally, we conclude our method. We propose a framework. It achieves a better balanced learner for online class-incremental learning. Our contributions are listed as below. We designed the dual classifiers to decouple the knowledge acquisition from the preservation to mitigate the recency bias. Also, we provide the implicit knowledge interaction module to facilitate both forward and backward knowledge transfer. We also achieve the SOTA performance across multiple benchmarks, and we maintain the best balance between the plasticity and the stability with the minimal computational overhead. That's all. Thank you very much for your attention. I'm now happy to take any questions. Here is the QR code of our lab website. Thank you.
Thank you.